Hi, everybody. Uh-oh. I just choked during the intro. I was like, oh, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? I don't know. I did it. Welcome, everyone. What's today's date? Welcome to our September 11th live feed update show, where we are going to fill you in on all of the drama that has happened on the live feeds in the past 24 hours, and there was a lot that went down overnight. Not really anything that's happened today, because apparently these house guests only like to have serious game talk at the wee hours of the morning on the East Coast. Like, their favorite time to talk game is between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. my time. Is there any reason they're not allowed to talk game during the day? I'm just curious. Like, I know it's real riveting, all four of you sitting in the bathroom today making up a song about a poop couch, but you guys are right. You guys were so right. Getting rid of Christy wasn't going to affect the feeds at all. Singing a song about a poop couch on the feeds today. That's what happens. They hide eggs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they hide eggs. Did you guys miss the egg hunt yesterday? It was real riveting. You know everyone loves a good end of summer egg hunt on the feeds. So glad Christy's gone, though. Anyway, then it rolls around to 3 a.m., the devil's hour, and then all of a sudden everybody just perks up and goes, maybe we should talk game. Big Brother After Dark is over, and all the people that watch the live feeds are asleep. Not our live feed updater is at BB21 Live Feeds on Twitter, so don't you worry. But now that everybody's asleep, let's go ahead and talk game. I literally planned to go to bed early last night to try and finally get sleep for once. No. No. Chaos had to ensue. So let's talk about all of it after I just let you guys know that if you missed any of these past shows when they are live, you can check them out on the playback over on our website, yourrealityrecaps.com/bb21. You can get the flashback times. You'll see where you're standing in the trash draft. I'm not number one, so I don't care. Get the spoiler graphic. Did I say flashback times? And not just for this season of Big Brother 21, but for all the past seasons of Big Brother. Things starting at like 12. Of course, you can also check out all the other shows that we cover over there as well, too. Amazing Race, Survivor, etc. And we're doing this show right now live on YouNow, so make sure you fan us here on YouNow, and on TVCo. It's the two places that we go live every single day. So it's easy peasy. As long as you're following us at both, you'll always be alerted when we go live. So make sure you're following us here on YouNow and, of course, over on TVCo. And lastly, if you want to become a patron, you get access to the Patreon Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows just for patrons, and, of course, the after shows with the house guests from this season will be over in the patron group. That's where we get the tea. So we'll be live here in YouNow. Yes, live here on YouNow for the house guest end of the season show. Then so everyone can watch it if they want. Then we will go into the patron group for the after show, and then maybe there'll be an after show. We'll see. Of course, you can always do one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. And if you have any Amazon shopping to do, use our Amazon link, which if you don't know it by now, sucks for you, bro. Look, I tried to make it shorter. I don't know how much shorter I can make it. Just share our stuff. That's all you need to do. Make sure you're watching the shows, sharing them, thumbsing up, subscribing, commenting, 5-star rating, putting in places, telling friends, share the show, share the show, share the show, like the tweets when you see them. I mean, at the end of yesterday's show, I said, I'm going to go ahead and post this show now, and it'd be nice if it got more than 4 likes on Twitter. It didn't. How come my regular Big Brother tweets can get hundreds of likes and we can get thousands of views on the videos, but when I post the actual link to the show we do, it gets 4 hearts? That makes people not want to watch it. Can you please like the show when I post it? Thank you. Well, thank you, Miss Janny Tally. You're 1 of 4. We love you. Okay, we have got to talk about last night. Because look, I'm just going to tell you right now, I was a little bit enraged on Twitter. You know that thing when they're like, ooh, being sleep deprived is like being drunk? It's also, being sleep deprived is also like being drunk, but like an angry drunk. That was me last night on Twitter as drama unfolded in the Big Brother house. So, for starters, I think where we last left off, Nicole was again in talks with Cliff, and then Cliff decided to hear out Tommy, and then Cliff liked Tommy's deal of, I will throw HOH to you guys so you don't have to worry about that. It's the least I can do. It's my way to sweeten the deal. And then Cliff is like, this is the best deal ever. The best deal ever. I love this deal. Yes, I love it. I love this deal, Tommy. I'm gonna take the deal. Yes. So, like Cliff was all about the deal. It was amazing. It was a great deal. And then we were done. We were done talking about it. Everybody go to bed. Then they woke up yesterday and they literally hit eggs. I would love to tell you that something exciting happened on the feeds from the moment they woke up until 3 a.m. in the morning, but about as rip-roaring wild as it got was Big Brother gave them some paints, they decide to color some eggs, and they colored eggs, they hid them around the house, and they look for them. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Oh, it was a rip-roaring time on the feeds yesterday. Again, so glad Christy's gone. You guys are right. You're right. Feeds are so much better with Christy gone. You're totally right. Then, all of a sudden, Holly kind of has an epiphany. Oh, yeah. Oh, they got origami. Oh, yeah, origami. And didn't they get one other thing? They got Play-Doh? Didn't they get, like, origami, paint, and something else? I forget. Doesn't matter. So, all of a sudden, Holly starts to have a conversation with Jackson. And she's like, I'm getting a little bit worried, everybody. I'm getting a little bit worried. I don't really know, or Jackson. Jackson, I am getting a little bit worried. I don't know if we should tell Nicole and Cliff about what Tommy told us, specifically meaning about him and Christy knowing each other before the game. Now, she's worried about this because Tommy has told her, I'm going to campaign real hard. I'm going to campaign real hard, and I'm going to start campaigning tomorrow. And Holly is worried. Number one, Holly wants to go second. She does not want to campaign first because she wants them to have the information about Tommy and Christy knowing each other before she starts doing her campaigning. So that's kind of number one. Holly's like, I'm worried, but will you still play my game for me? Exactly. So, and then douchebag, what's his face, Jackson, is like, all right, what if I help you here and I say to Cliff, there's something that Tommy has to tell you that I can't tell you because it's secret and it's personal. But it's like, I'll lay the groundwork for you, Holly. And Holly's like, oh, girl, I love that idea. She's like, that is a really good idea. She's like, just do me a favor. Like, when you do it, don't do it when I'm around. Because we don't want to make it seem like, we're plotting this together, or we're both playing the same game, or, we got to try and start separating ourselves. So make sure when you do that, it'll make it seem like we were gonna tell them, so that when I go to tell them, it's all good. Yada yada yada. Okay, cut to these crazy kids in the bathroom.
Complacent, but I also don't want to be like Kat and be really paranoid all week. So I've been just not saying anything. But I will also be campaigning tomorrow because
do it.
Because obviously.
And I know Tommy and Nicole have talked. And
Tommy and Nicole.
Not so much with me, but I'm sure that's coming next. And,
Mate.
And I've always worked with Nicole, and
I'm
be curious to see what she has to say too. But I'll be really curious to see what Tommy says now.
Okay, what he
feels
like.
I think
I'll let y'all know if I hear anything. And if not, then I'll be looking forward to hear.
It'll be interesting.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-oh. Danger.
I did not like that response.
Yeah. I know. I'm done.
No, you're not.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. Do not say that you were done. Do not say that you were done. I didn't like it, but that does not mean you were done.
You're a little bit done.
Do not say that you're done.
There's no pink. You're done. You're well done. You're so... Oh, they're gone. They did not like Cliff's answer when Jackson, in front of Holly, says to Cliff, Tommy's gonna tell you something later. Tommy's gonna tell you something later, and I can't tell you. And Holly's literally looking at Jackson like, we just discussed you not saying that in front of me. And here you are saying it in front of me. And by the way, Cliff is like, oh, you mean about Christy? You mean about Christy? And he's like, and Jackson like thinks that he's all smart, and he's like, I can't say, but it's about someone who's not in the house now. And then Cliff is like, Christy, is it about Christy? Oh, I bet it is. I'm just like, oh my god, just the fuck up, Cliff, just fall off a bridge already. And he's like, hey, I gotta go. So then he leaves, and of course she just said that with like, oh my god, this isn't good, this is the worst. This is the absolute worst. And I just love how Holly's like, I'm done. And Jackson is like, don't say that. Don't ever say that. If they were in Titanic, this could be Holly. And then Jackson's like, never let go, Holly. Never let go. Never let go. Push her underground. Drown her. It's just drowning Holly in the bathroom. I'm like, I can't with these two. But the feeds were so boring that I'm literally sitting there like this. Please, Jackson, just wind her up. Jackson, please, just Jackson, just wind her up. Oh, for the love of God, just wind her up, Jackson. Just wind her up. And then Holly's like, do you think that I should talk to him? And Jackson goes, yes, right now. And I was like, yes, thank you. He's like, you better do it right now. The quicker you do it, the better. You don't want him to talk to anybody else. You better go talk to Cliff. You got to have your Cliff moment. Now, that didn't happen because Holly gets up. She runs into the living room only to find out that preparations have begun for the September 11th memorial that these crazy kids are going to put on the feeds. And I have to say, I don't, no disrespect to any previous casts, because I know pretty much every season we have a cast that they always do something on the feeds where they're usually talking about it, September 11th, or where they were, or what happened. But I don't know why this season just seemed more personal. I guess. I mean, Cliff really did lead the charge on wanting to make it a special thing, make sure that they all woke up on time at the time when the planes hit the towers, have moments of silence at those times. He requested a flag from Big Brother. And look, I know there are people that question Cliff's motives on this. I don't. And you know I am a big Cliff motive questioner. I think Cliff was being sincere here in wanting to do something to remember people on September 11th. So they head over into the living room. And we see that they have the table with kind of the white sheet on it. And they're working on creating like a sign which says, we remember, out of Fruit Loops. I mean, out of Fruit Loops. I mean, what else are they going to write with? They don't really have a lot more. They don't have a lot they can't actually write. So I appreciate it in any way that they do it being made out of Fruit Loops. I kind of wish they went with Never Forget instead of We Remember. But then as people pointed out to me in chat yesterday, Nicole was only 8 on September 11th. And Tommy was 11. And Cliff was like 63. So I mean, crazy. Like, I would hope as children that their parents protected them from that. Maybe they didn't understand the full scope of what was going on. I'm sure much in the way when I was a kid, and, you know, I guess what did we have when I was a kid? The Iraq War? I didn't really understand what was happening. It didn't really affect my life when I was a kid. So, you know, my point is, it is nice to see people like Nicole and Tommy who are New Yorkers, paying such respect and, you know, wanting to wake up early to do moments of silence and actually caring so much how this memorial ends up looking when it's done. That being said, I would be absolutely a horrible person if I made fun of Jackson in any way during this. But, you know, like this moment when they were getting it ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That looks really good, guys.
It looks really good, and the font that, like, not font, but handwriting between y'all's and Nicole's looks almost identical.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'm just pointing out that Nicole and Holly lined up Fruit Loops on a table. And Precious Jackson thinks it's a font/handwriting. So, just when we all want to hold Jackson accountable for all of these horrific things that we think he's doing intentionally, he thinks that spilling Fruit Loops on a table is handwriting. So, you know, not playing with a full deck up here. Precious little Jackson. Just saying. Now, I kind of want to just close out the September 11th stuff. I want to kind of put it all into this section. So we're going to go back to what happened last night. But as planned, they did wake up this morning. It was very sweet. And I really, again, I don't remember a cast I feel like that has gone to this length, but Big Brother gave a Cliff, as you can see there, a big flag to have. They all went around. They kind of talked about their memories of the day, what it meant to them. I really hope it makes the show tonight. Honestly, it would be super fitting if on tonight's show they actually show what they all did this morning rather than to try and stick it into tomorrow's show. So it was very is very nice. I see Lori says, there has never been a cast that did this much. I agree. And I mean, it was it's really what gave me, I think, all the feels today, if you have looked at my Twitter, was just seeing how much they cared about it. Brought back up a lot of memories about it all for me as well. So I loved it. I thought that was very sweet. It's rare that you get time to take breaks in this game and to, I guess, take yourself out of the game. And there's probably nothing more humbling for them, or a way to put things more in perspective for them than, what they did this morning. So it was very nice. Everybody got all dressed up for it. As you can see here, like Cliff got dressed up, Tommy, Nicole put on a nice blazer, and they all kind of stood around and said, what they were thankful for and grateful for, and it was very heartwarming. I very much thought it was one of the nicest things that we've seen in a long time. Tommy is talking to Cliff and Nicole now. Great, thanks for letting us know. We'll update everybody on that tomorrow. Right now, we're talking about what's led up to this point. Get on board. So, going back to last night now. So, and then everybody went to sleep. Although what I do want to know is, how did they get woken up? We do need to remember for the patron show, I want to ask them, I mean, I guess they get woken up the way that Big Brother wakes them up every day, like with the music playing. It's just interesting that they could request it. And I mean, I understand why. I'm sure production was eating this up as this getting to be a storyline. But knowing that they were up until like 2 hours until they needed to get up again, I was like, this is bad. They're all going to sleep. I hope they wake up if they're really trying to do it. But they did. Tommy is telling them about Christy. Okay, good. Oh, good. That'll be exciting. We will have all the clips about it on tomorrow's show. So that'll be exciting. All right. So going back now to last night, Nicole is kind of like, Nicole and Holly are in the kitchen. Cliff and Jackson are, I think, in the bathroom, not doing anything important. And you have to remember that before they went to work on the 9/11 memorial, Jackson was pushing Holly to go and talk to Cliff. Like, you need to get one-on-one time with Cliff. You need to explain to him, find out if the deal is still on, say you felt like it was kind of weird when he talked to you in the bathroom, all of that. So, of course, then, it makes perfect sense that Holly would grab Nicole to talk. I'm like, the whole point was that you were supposed to grab Cliff to talk. These two are cursed. In a lot of ways that I feel that I am cursed in a lot of things, these two are cursed. Holly and Jackson talk about not telling Cliff together that Tommy has a secret. They tell Cliff together Tommy has a secret. Jackson and Holly talk about going and talking to Cliff alone and getting him alone right now, and it's real important to do it right now. So of course, Holly goes and grabs Nicole and talks to her alone for an hour. Like, how does this make sense? How does any of this make sense? So she goes into the I call the trailer room. Like, into the trailer park room is where she goes, which is where Cliff sleeps. And by the way, I'm assuming it was Holly that led them there, so I'm assuming that was Holly being strategic of thinking that he was going to go sleep in there. So they kind of don't really talk about anything. Holly just beats around the bush for like 15 minutes. What Holly wants to say in this conversation with Nicole is, I'm just confirming that our deal is still on and that you plan on honoring it. I don't even know why we have to have this conversation since we made a deal, and what is actually the point of a deal if you're not going to honor it, but since we're playing the game, I guess we should have this conversation. Now, that is not what she said. I'm saying that is what she wanted to say. Instead, she's just beating around the bush of like, I don't want you to think that I'm being complacent and that I don't care to campaign. I was just gonna wait till tomorrow and blah, 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 blah. So first Holly went that route of beating around the bush. Then Holly went to her default, which I kind of feel is a little bit of guilting. Holly likes to, I feel, use guilt to get people to want to maybe help her in this game a little bit. Because I think she doesn't have a lot of self-worth, and that is how she is used to getting the attention. Which is sad. And it is sad, and I feel bad for Holly in that aspect. But she moves along, too, saying things to Nicole like, I just have to be here longer. I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do in this game. I'm going to be so upset if I don't get to complete what I wanted. For example, hot takes with Holly. I've only done like 1 or 2 hot takes with Holly, and I really need to do more of them before the game's over. To which Nicole, without missing a beat, goes, well, you could always do them tonight or tomorrow. I was like, red flag, red flag. Hello, Holly. Notice that she didn't say you have a lot of time to the end of the season. She gave you 2 days, girl. She gave you 2 days, Holly. That should be a big old red flag. So I was just like, wow. And Holly also, when in talking to Jackson in the bathroom, was like, did I make the mistake? Did I wait too long to campaign? Should I have been campaigning all week? I didn't want to seem like a cat. I didn't want to seem paranoid. And this is kind of, I agree, the fine line of Big Brother, which is probably a difficult line to skate. Because if I really was in Holly's position, like honest to God, if I was in Holly's position, and I didn't even really hear Holly and Jackson talking about this much last night, there really doesn't seem to be that much anger over the breaking of a deal. And I guess it's because they all understand that it is a game and they have to break the deals to go forward. But it just seems interesting to me, like, in other words, the second somebody like Cliff, in the bathroom, the reason that they were annoyed was that Cliff said something like, well, I'll have to talk it over with Nicole, or I think everything is still on track. The second somebody said that to me, that I am supposed to be in an alliance with for 1 more week, my reply would be, what are you talking about? What do you mean you have to think about it? We're in an alliance. We had a deal. I don't understand what there is to think about. You want to think about whether you want to hear them out or not because production needs something for the edit? You can hear them out, but I don't know what you're questioning since we had a deal. Are you going back on the deal? Because then I'll just go back on my voting for you at the end. I don't know why all these people are so complacent on, we had a deal and it's gonna be okay if you don't honor it. I guess it's because you don't want to piss the person off, because then once you burn that bridge, then why would they have to honor the deal? So I get it. It's the fine line that you have to skate, but I still don't get why they don't circle the conversation a little bit. It just seems weird to me. Anyway, so, Nicole and Holly are downstairs really not talking about anything much. every time Holly would ramp up her Debbie Downer routine of like, woe is me, and this is not what I'm like in the real world, and and Nicole would just try and flip it into a positive. Nicole would be like, but we're here, and we're in the Big Brother house, and isn't that amazing? And we can be so great. Like, Nicole just kept trying to pick her up out of the gutter, basically the whole time. Holly would be like, I don't know if Jackson and I are gonna last. Okay. Now, in the spirit of being open and honest here, no, you're not going to last. You're like 10 years older than him, and that's not me shading you for your age. You're in two different worlds. You're not on the same playing field at all. You are like up here, and he is like way down here. He just got out of frat boy world. You are like have a career and family and home. You're not in the same world. You don't even live near each other. It's not going to happen. You just need to accept it. Move on. I love, and I always root for love. And if I'm telling you it's not going to work out between you two, it's not going to work out between you two. And by the way, I have a great track record of this. I don't think I've been wrong yet. Which is why Twitter hates me right now. Because I laid down the law. And I told you all what was going to happen, and you all don't like it. I don't remember specifically what the conversation was that happened. But I've just been noticing, and I meant to tell this to all of you on shows, and when Holly and Nicole were talking last night, it clicked and registered like, oh crap, I keep forgetting that I want to tell everybody this. I've just been noticing little things that Nicole has been saying in reference to Nick and her friendship with him in the house, etc., that has just made me think, I think Nicole has feelings for Nick. I think she does. So, of course, I tweeted out, everyone, Nicole is going to date Nick postseason. Mark my words. Don't say I didn't tell you so, because I told you so. And then, of course, everybody's coming at me. I have to say, that thread is really funny. It made me laugh out loud several times today. If you go look at that, tweet thread, if you go look at that tweet thread, you can see a lot of the replies that people have had. Give one example of what she said. Hold on. I feel like it's not so much that she said the words, I have feelings for Nick. It's more to do with the night before he left, she kind of got in bed and cuddled with him. When she described what she looks for in a guy, she literally described Nick. She wants someone with a career like her dad. She wants someone that is a little bit opposite from her. She wants someone that is sarcastic and funny. A lot of the things that she wants are the thing that Nick is. And I also thought kid teacher, kid therapist, they're in similar fields, they live close to each other. I just think if all of us and Big Brother wasn't in the equation, those two might get together. And yeah, I'm just leaving it at that. The replies to that thread, and I'm just basically screwing with you all. Although I do have to say again, Chelsea and Girlface from Big Brother Canada, let's just remember that Chelsea was dating that horrible, creepy guy that I didn't like on Big Brother Canada. And then she came on our show, and I said, excuse me, Chelsea, I just want to let you know that I think that you should be dating Girlface brother. You two make a much better couple. And I think that it's meant to be. Cut to their budding relationship that lasted for years and years. Doesn't matter if they broke up. They still were together for years and years, and I called it. The show tried to push the showmance in one direction, and I said, I see right through that shit, You two should be together. And they got together for years and were a happy, amazing couple. So, don't want to say my track record's doing great, but it kind of is. Now, like I said, you can go and check out that tweet and see all the horrific and funny things that everybody is replying to it at me. I was really just screwing around with all of you guys, but I find it hysterical how many people are so invested in this. Now, I probably should have asked her if it's okay to say this, but I don't think that she'll care. So, this afternoon, I open up my DMs and I see I have a message from Kemi, and I'm like, oh, Kemi sent me a message. What is this? And I open it, and it's the tweet. So, like, Kemi, like, pasted the tweet in, and it just says, reported you, with a smiley face. Which honestly just cracked me up. I thought that was very funny. So that was hysterical. But yeah, check out that tweet if you want to see all the people shading me about that. So see, I keep going off track. There are so many things. There are just so many things that have been happening in the late overnight that I'm all over the place. I apologize. Okay. Back. I do agree. If Nicole is in the top 2, meaning that she cannot get America's Favorite Player money, then 100% I am on board for all votes going to Kemi. I just would have to give it to Nicole over Kemi simply, like, I know it's not necessarily fair, but it would suck if, like, Nicole got nothing and made it to the end. But Nicole first, then Kemi, just based on game longevity. That being said, while Nicole is having this conversation in the room with Holly, really about nothing. I mean, I would not recommend going back to watch that conversation. If you want to go back and watch these conversations, this one is a good conversation to watch, which is happening while Nicole and Holly are talking. Cliff is busy upstairs throwing Nicole under the bus. This is where I started getting so angry last night.
That's the thing. If Holly went home, I feel like it'd be a duo of you and me,
Mm-hmm.
Tommy and Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
and Nicole and myself.
Mm-hmm.
It'd almost be, because I'll tell you, if it came down to it, I'll take Nicole, you know, but I'd send Tommy home.
Mm-hmm.
If she won, my guess is she'd send you home.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking it through. And that would be the final 3.
Nicole would send you home.
Tommy
I
won
wouldn't.
Veto. I don't know what he does. You or me, if you win, Tommy or Nicole, just depends on where your head's at that point.
I've voiced it to you. The head would be at.
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate it, and I know that. And
I didn't know that it was even.
I don't know that it is. I just see them whispering a lot.
Oh, I see them
I see them sitting out in the hammock and talking.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole has said, Tommy wants to talk to me. And I've said, well, tell him to come talk to me. Mm-hmm. And he did that once, and I just said, until Veto ceremony is done, I'm not doing anything. Until my name's pulled off the block, I wasn't even going to talk. Mm-hmm. And then last night we just there really had a chance to, so. And he had told me that he wanted to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, well, that's fine.
I know Nicole and all, they're down there talking.
Yeah. Well, and I may be overstating this whole thing.
No, and I'm just asking.
So Cliff goes on. to be, and I see what you're all saying in chat, so hold on, I will address it. So Cliff goes on to be like, Nicole done keep me in the loop. Nuh-uh, those two are together all the time, and I'm out of the loop, and I'm not included in nothing. No, Jackson, it's not me. I'm not including nothing. I'm here for you, Jackson. Oh, yeah, I love you. Now look. I get it. Again, in the interest of fairness, this is Cliff playing the game. This is what we would not care if Nicole was doing in the reverse situation. So we're real clear. This is, I guess, good gameplay for Cliff. This is what anybody should do in this scenario. And now I have presented that side. Back to hating Cliff. Here's my problem with it. Nicole saved your ass, and you didn't need to campaign this way. This is not what you needed to do in this moment. You could have done it in a way that didn't paint Nicole as the person that's going to take the blame, or you didn't need to paint it in a way that made it seem like Nicole was coming for him. You could have put that blame on Tommy and protected yourself in the same exact way. You put the blame on Nicole, the person who could have sent your ass out if she wanted to this week, but instead saved you. And you're over there, you started out last week just like dribbling the seeds to him about, like, he would just drop it into conversations to try and make Nicole look guilty with shit, but now he's flat out just making shit up about Nicole doing, that she's not even actually doing, to Jackson. And again, I get it. He wants to be the one that if, God forbid, Jackson, the decision is in Jackson's hands, he wants Jackson to pick him over Nicole. So I do understand that. I just don't respect it on the merit that you've done nothing and you're the person who panders to us 24/7 to like you. What you should have done was been the snake the whole time if you wanted to be the snake, and we would have loved the villain. What we don't love is when you're pretending to be, gee gosh darn, I'm so cute and I'm gonna protect Nicole and do everything for Nicole, and then you're fucking selling her out to save your own game. That's where I say he's a used car salesman, and that's where I don't respect his game. Just be the fucking villain. Just do it. Just be the villain. And then we would love a villain. We like villains. They're fun. We like watching them. We would root for you. Or we probably wouldn't root for you if you were going against Nicole, but we wouldn't face with calling you fake and all of that. We wouldn't do that. Yeah, I get it. He's covering all of his bases. I don't respect the way he's covering his bases, because Nicole is not selling him out in that way. I haven't seen Nicole selling Cliff out in that way. So it's just interesting that Cliff to Nicole. Now, I will say, to Cliff's credit, that's why you wouldn't win. Oh, do you think Cliff's winning? Cliff isn't winning. Here's what Cliff's game got him. Probably not Final 2. Coming out thinking that everybody loves him because if he doesn't make Final 2, unfortunately, I don't even want to say the words, but he's gonna take America's Favorite Player because of the edit that he got. So he's gonna think that everybody likes him. Then he's going to come on to social media to fulfill his podcast and social media dreams and find out that maybe 10 to 15% of the audience like him and the rest can't stand him. And all of his horrible little hopes and dreams are crushed. All because he played a rat-snake game while trying to pretend like he's a sweet, lovable guy that likes to dance with my wife in front of the cameras at night because I just love everybody so much while I split their throats open. No, Cliff. No, you're not. You're the guy that wants to play a snaky game. So just own it. And then we'll respect it. Now, to Cliff's credit, I will say he did go then downstairs, talk to the cameras, and tell us, yeah, after that conversation with Jackson, I think I'm going to keep Tommy. I do think now that voting out Holly... he didn't say I'm going to do it. He said I'm leaning more towards keeping Tommy after that conversation. So he doesn't want to betray Nicole yet. Then he went to Nicole, woke her up, and did basically fill Nicole in on the majority of what he told Jackson. So he was forthcoming. Sure, he didn't necessarily frame the things that he said in the exact way that he said them, but his conversation with Nicole was, made me hopeful again that he is not going to betray Nicole. But I always tell all of you, you have to trust your gut in the game. And my gut is telling me that if Cliff realizes, like really realizes, that all he has to do is vote against Nicole to have Jackson break a tie, send out Tommy, who you all know, if you've been watching the live feeds, was who Cliff wanted out the most for the past month. So now, by betraying Nicole, Cliff is going to get out the person that he was worried about the most, have Jackson and Holly 100% on his side, and the 3 against 1 are going to be those 3 going against Nicole. And then all Cliff has to do is win that POV competition, which is going to be like the competition he just beat Tommy in. And then he's guaranteed final 2 against Holly because he can send out Jackson. And then he won the game. Because he knows he can't beat Nicole. So once the DR makes Cliff aware of that little scenario, or once that scenario plays through Cliff's brain that no matter what way we go into this week, it really depends on who wins that POV. So what's the best way for me to get there with people that I'll be able to beat at the end? And again, I'm not going to blame Cliff when that happens. Or if that happens. He's thinking of his family. He's thinking of his kids. Once that starts getting drilled into his head, it is the best move for Cliff to evict Tommy. It is. It's the best move for Cliff. Not for nothing, it was also the best move for Nicole. Had she not gone down the path that she's been on this whole week of wanting to get out Holly, giving the ammunition to Cliff to end Nicole's game. So again, fingers crossed that that does not happen. but I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. I want to believe that Cliff will not do that. I want to believe that Cliff will not do that. But I honestly look at, if I was in Cliff's position, and in a lot of ways I am, a home, a family, stuff like that, I would get rid of Nicole to make my life better. It's why I went into the game to play it. Whereas someone like Nicole, who doesn't have a mortgage and, probably car payments and all that, she doesn't have all of those life pressures on her that someone like Cliff does, that's going to make him make the smarter decision for his game. So far, listening to Cliff talk to the cameras, those pieces haven't clicked in that way for him yet. And if they do, I'm worried for Nicole's game. I hope I'm wrong. I absolutely hope that I am wrong and that Cliff will not go down that path. But I don't know why he wouldn't. It's such an easier path for him to win the game. He's not going to win against Jackson, and he's not going to win against Nicole. The only people he has a chance to win against is pretty much Holly. And I don't even really think he could win against Tommy. How do you get Holly to the end? You have to get rid of Nicole. Just think it gives him such an easier path. I wish it would have been the path that Cliff and Nicole could have taken together this week. But unfortunately, Nicole decided to make the move against Holly. What's his motive in saying that we're voting together? That concerns me as well. I can't really... So, one of the things when he was talking to Jackson, he did tell Jackson and he told Holly, Nicole and I are voting together. 100% we're voting together. So whatever decision we make, Nicole and I are making it together. That could be for a few reasons. It could be because he wants the blame dispersed equally. Like he doesn't want anyone to take more of the blame than somebody else. Is how I think most people take it. But again, the part of me that scares me, or the part that is scary to me, is that it is because Cliff actually has a plan to split the vote. And he wants Jackson to know, I could have went with Nicole like we planned, but instead I decided to go with you and Holly. Because here's the thing, I don't trust what Cliff says. There's two options. Cliff either has the worst memory in the world, or he doesn't, and he's super freaking manipulative. Like, for example, the thing that I tweeted the other day. It's interesting to hear me watch Cliff go around and be like, Rob has a podcast and RHAP, good night everybody from RHAP, and blah, 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 blah. And I hear him do that all the time. But then I will hear him in a conversation about it, and it's clear he doesn't get it. Like, he's like, I think they have a subscriber thing. Like I think it's that subscriber patron. How do you not know? You're such a big fan. How do you not know what patron is? They would be mentioning it every show. And I get it. His wife is a huge fan. Here's what I think, because here's what I would do. Let's say my hubs got cast onto Big Brother. I would literally go like this. Here's what you need to know. You need to shout out people like Rob. You need to shout out people like us. You need to shout out people like Taryn. You need to mention jokers a lot. You want to get way high up on the list. You need to mention like BB Gossip. You need to mention Hamster Watch. These are going to be all the big places that are going to be covering you all season long. You want to keep shouting those places out. Because Cliff is out working at sea and on oil rigs and like all these. I just don't envision Cliff being on top of all of these things during a Big Brother season. It just seems to me like he was given information to use to play America. And again, I can't blame him for that, because I always tell all of you, play the house, play production, play America. Cliff's just playing America. He's doing the play America part. But again, for another example, in one moment, Cliff will be like, I never watch the live feeds. I don't really know about the live feeds. I don't know what it like. And then in another conversation, he'll be like, I watch live feeds all the time, 24/7 live feed. It's like everything that he says contradicts something else he says. And I get it. This is why Big Brother is hard, because it is a game about lying and manipulating people. So obviously you're going to change things that you say based on the person that you're talking to. But these aren't things that he's saying when he's talking to other people. He's saying them to us when he's alone during Cliff Notes, which is why it doesn't make any sense to me. So what's the truth, Cliff? You can't play us in that way. We see it all. If you're gonna manipulate us, you need to manipulate us in a way that actually goes along with at least one storyline that you're gonna stick with. You can't keep like flipping your thoughts and thinking that we're not gonna understand or only saw one part of it. It just doesn't make any sense. That's why I say he's used car salesman. He's used car salesman to me. I follow you, rap peeps, hamster, jokers, you know, the big guns. I don't know that we're really a big gun, but I'm just saying. I just feel like he mentions those things. It just feels inauthentic to me, I guess is what I'm saying. When I see Cliff, like the first time Cliff did it, I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. That is so amazing that he's like shouting out Taryn and those and like Rob and all this. That is so amazing. Like, I know what that felt like when they've done it in past seasons. So that's so amazing. And the second time he did it, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then he's like, I give credit to them for my game. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so amazing. But then it just becomes like the bullet point that he like repeats over and over at like the same times every single day. And then jokers. And then, and I'm just like, is it now just like a thing that you're saying that you hope because you're trying to use the fan base? But I don't know. Again, I want to, and the thing is, in that case, I lean to yes, because I feel like a lot of things that he does is pandering to the camera. So, like, if everything else you do is pandering to the camera, I feel like that's pandering to the camera. I don't know. You can leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Are you pro-Cliff? Are you not pro-Cliff? Do you think Cliff panders to us for America's favorite player? Do you think he doesn't pander to us for America's favorite player? What do you guys think about it? And again, I know as we get to the end of this season, it becomes almost like we're being so hard on these people. I just want to put the little disclaimer again. I'm talking about Cliff's game. It is Cliff's game that I don't like. Cliff the person, I'm sure is an amazing dad and husband and everything in the real world. I'm sure we're going to love him. Because if anything I've learned in all the other seasons, the people whose game I don't like are the people that I love when they come on this show. And the people whose games I love and I'm such a big fan of come on this show. And it's literally like a wet sponge trying to pull answers out of their face. So I'm sure I'm going to love Cliff postseason. I'm sure he's going to be my absolute favorite. I just want to point out, it's Cliff's game and the things he's doing in this game that I don't like. Not Cliff, the person. Just making it clear. I don't think I'll ever like Cliff. Well, I don't like the forced feeling he makes us have. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. Let's quickly, because we have gone, oh my God, we've gone all over the place. Cliff talked to Nicole. Cliff filled Nicole in on what they said. They agreed. We have to be careful because Holly and Jackson are upstairs right now. They're obviously comparing the notes. Cliff is telling her everything that him and I talked about. Holly is telling him everything that you and her talked about. Clearly, they're going to campaign to us tomorrow and not sure how it's going to go. Are they going to campaign to us alone? Are they going to campaign to us together? What is their pitch going to be? Oh, and most importantly, Cliff goes, where is that tweet in my timeline? Because, oh my God, I want to pull it up right here so that you can all never say it to me again. Here we go. So, this is from Crystal on Twitter. In their conversation, Cliff says to Nicole, I don't know. I think we send Holly to the jury house, but that might change tomorrow. Jackson, because I refuse to call him Mickey, said Tommy has some blockbuster info about someone who isn't here anymore. I think it has to do with Christy. I think we know what it is, but I'm not saying anything until I know if it's true. And I forget the other things that him and Nicole said, but every time they would get to the point where they would naturally be saying what we heard about them knowing each other, they would just cut the feeds. They know, everybody. You can stop telling me they don't know. Again, they know. I put the show at the end of last week's show where Cliff did his Cliff Notes, basically telling us he knows. He's not allowed to say that he knows. They are not allowed on the live feeds or the show to say the words, obviously, we heard it from a wall shouter. Basically, because if I had to guess, because how would I ever know, production probably said to them, if you guys talk about it, you are letting the people that did it know, and you're letting live feeders know that this is actually something that can influence the game. And while you may not care because it could have helped your game, you're not going to like it when somebody does it about your game. So we're going to need you to not talk about it and pretend like you don't know about it and help us protect the integrity of this game. Is what I would guess they would say to them when a situation like this arises. So of course Cliff and Nicole cannot say the actual words, we know what happened, or we know that they know each other. But again, they know. Thank you. Can we just evict everyone but Nicole and end the show already? We cannot just evict everyone and end the show already. So, Nicole and Cliff call it a night. They agree that they are going to let Jackson and Holly pitch to them all day today and I mean Holly and Tommy, but P.S. also Jackson. We'll get there in 1 second. And then they're going to come together at the end of the day and compare notes and see where to go forward from here. And if they are set tomorrow morning on still wanting Holly to be the one that they evict, they will tell them tomorrow so that they are not blindsided. Again, in my opinion, absolutely a huge mistake on Nicole and Cliff's part. You could have had days to win them back over after you told them. Telling them on the day of eviction, sure, you get a few more hours with them. You're still blindsiding them. You still don't have time to make them feel better about it. You should have made your decision a day ago. You should have had all day today to smooth things over with them and tomorrow to enjoy your last day together. I think this is going to be something that you both regret. Unless it is Cliff and Nicole sitting at the end with each other, I don't see Holly or Jackson voting for them if they're sitting next to a Tommy or obviously the other one of Holly and Jackson. Obviously, they're not going to vote for them, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Now cut to upstairs where Jackson and Holly are going over all the different ways to spin this to them tomorrow. There are so many options and ways that they can go about doing this. Holly kind of thinks the best way is to go the loyalty route with them. Holly thinks the best thing to do is kind of just explain, your odds are the best with me. Because they are. Why would you want to go against Jackson and Tommy? You could be going against me. You're gonna beat me. And one of you, if you win HOH, one of you is guaranteed safety. Now, what Jackson and Holly do not know is that Tommy already promised them the HOH. Again, if you didn't watch yesterday's show, go watch that back. But Tommy is claiming he will throw the HOH to Nicole or Cliff if they keep him tomorrow, which I don't believe for a second. I don't believe for a flippin' second anybody would be that stupid. It's a great promise, but it's about breaking deals. Now, Jackson also said, and this is the part where it's stupid to me, because Jackson should be out of this. Like, in Jackson campaigning for Holly, he's making it super clear to Nicole and Cliff that obviously he is super invested in Holly's staying. It's why you're campaigning to them for her. You're not involved in this. So that's why I say, like, Jackson will be campaigning too today. Basically, Jackson said that he wants to say to Nicole and Cliff, you guys are my final three. I will cut Holly at final four. You have my word. I came into this game alone. You saw in my nominations that I did what was best for me and not what was best for Holly. You saw that in Holly's nominations in HOH week, she did what was best for her, like getting rid of Nick, not what's best for me. I am giving you my word. I will not bring Holly to the final three. I will bring you two if I win. However, Tommy is the person that scares me. Tommy is the person that I feel I can't beat. So I will give you that guarantee if you vote Tommy out and keep Holly here. Now, of course, he's lying. He's not going to do that. And he says it's going to suck, but it's the end of the game. You're going to have to lie and break a deal in order to move forward. Well, remember you said that, buddy. Because if Nicole makes what I still think is going to be a bad move, that's what she'll be doing to you and Holly. I agree that I think Tommy could win the game. Cliff has no chance against anybody except Holly, which is, again, I don't need to get into it. I've already explained it. So if Cliff comes around to that thought process, it's going to be very interesting. Now, I realize that people have said that perhaps on this show that I am not always necessarily fair about like how I feel, like I don't represent both sides sometimes. And that's why I disagree, but I've been trying to make sure that I do it more. I feel like this is a good time where we should have a new segment where I present the opposite side. So since my side is super smart and intelligent and the correct side, I think now is the time that we should hear from the other side, or as I like to call it, stupid idiot who knows nothing about this game. Hi, Jess. Now, what do you have for us?
19 asks, is there any one thing in particular that you look back on in the game that you wish now you could have done differently? Well, at Melissa Dara 19, yes. Now looking back at this, I really wish that...
That what, Jess? Now you've had time to reflect on this amazing experience. You know so much more now. I'm sure you have time to take it all in, process everything that has happened around you. I'm ready for your words of wisdom, Jess.
Wish that we could have gotten rid of Nicole. And I know that's weird because she was a part of my alliance, but like I feel in my gut that she was a mole and I never really trusted it. So I think that her out would probably have been the best decision for my game.
Oh, hi, you're an idiot. You know nothing about this game. It's why you're in the jury. You were only dragged along for a number. And when you weren't good enough to be a number anymore, they kicked your ass out the door. Like, out the door! Exclamation point. Nicole is the mole? You think Nicole is the mole? I don't understand. Like, maybe this is the thing. Like, honest to God, maybe this is the thing. Maybe Cliff is walking around with that house with some big dick energy that none of us understand. Okay? He must have them dickmatized, or there is something going on with Cliff that we just can't understand. Because it makes no sense to me how all of these people are not seeing what Cliff is actually doing in this game. And for her to be like, oh, Nicole's the mole. No, moron. It was Cliff. And if we need further proof that it was Cliff, here's his BB comic called The Groundhog. Looks a little bit like a ratty mole. Looks a little bit to me like a ratty mole. If you see his shadow, run. Yeah. They literally drew a picture for you, Jessica. They literally made him look like a mole. So you could look at the pretty picture and figure out who the mole was by looking at a picture. Still too hard for you. Please don't play this game again. It's not meant for you, Jessica. It's not meant for you. It's not. I want to see Jessica in the real world. I want to see Jessica being, promoting like girl power and feminism and being a model and being amazing and inspiring people. That is the Jessica I want to see post-season. I don't need game opinions. Because you don't know what was happening. I would love to hear more about your week. Your week was pretty amazing. Your week was great. You took out a power player. And then, yada, 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 Nicole's a mole. I was just like, what? What? I didn't even understand how we got there. That is like the biggest leap that you could possibly be taking. I just don't get it. She's jealous that everyone loves Nicole. It is true. I do think she probably is a little jealous. But here's my other fear. Here's the other thing I'm thinking. And this is what frightens me. I hope she was asked these questions before she started mingling with the other house guests, because my fear is the pulse of the jury house that people don't like Nicole? And she's just trying to fit in. Because we saw that a lot with Jessica in the house. She liked to change her opinions a lot of the times, or from week to week, based on who was in power, or, what she thought the majority of the people were doing. So I'm hoping this does not mean that the majority of the jury has been talking about not feeling Nicole. Fingers crossed, because that frightened me. That definitely frightened me a little bit. And we won't know. They love to trick us in a jury segment. They love to show us the segments of the people talking bad about the person, and then we're convinced, if they're talking bad about the person, they're not getting the vote, and then they end up getting the vote. But they also like to flip it, where they show us them talking bad about the person, and we're like, the person is totally getting the vote now. And they don't. Or they do. Whatever. You get my point. We won't know from the edit, is what I'm saying. They like to trick us. And then they like to double negative trick us so that they're not tricking us and tricking us, if you know what I'm saying. I want to see Christy's answers, if that shows anything else about the jury feelings. Yeah, we will look at Christy's feelings next show. I honestly did not realize we have Big Brother in 10 minutes. This show went on way too long. I need to wrap it up. I will be... I guess I will be live tweeting Big Brother then. I guess I won't be watching it with you because I need to be posting this show everywhere while I'm watching it. But, so again, here's the deal. I will be live tweeting Big Brother with all of you in like 10 minutes. Then, at exactly 9 p.m., I will be live on TV Co. with probably McCrae and Joanna for the Hamster Watch giveaway, and we will be recapping tonight's episode. Okie dokie, friends. So, again, if you guys missed any of our previous shows, you can check them out over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bb21. Don't forget to follow us here on YouNow so you're alerted every time we go live on YouNow. You can also follow us on TV Co, because that is also where we go live to talk all your reality TV shows, like our Big Brother live feed daily updates. Become a patron if you want to help support our shows. You get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows, and more. Of course, the after shows with the house guests will be over there. You can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, or use our Amazon link if you have any Amazon shopping to do. And of course, comment below. Let me know if you guys agree with me, disagree with me. Comment on our website or on YouTube. 5-star rating and nice review in iTunes. And just let me know what you guys think. Sharing the show helps us so much. I love, love, love all of you guys. I will see you all later. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.